Here's a good idea. Let's talk about my 2019 GSXR 600. In a lockdown, it's kind of hard to find bikes to do reviews on, but I think we can do it this time. So, is the GSXR 600 a Squid Missile, or is it a good track bike, or maybe it's something more? Well, let's find out. Now, to be fair, the GSXR 600 was not my first choice to replace my bike that was stolen. I did have an 07 Ninja 600 that I loved very dearly, and that was actually what I was going to replace it with. I did have delusions of getting it Daytona 675, but the only one that I could find sold before I got to it. But in my travels, I searched through a lot of different information on bikes. Test rode quite a few, and the one that really stuck out was the GSXR 600. Price for the GSXR 600 is by far cheaper than the rest. Again, they're all really hairline close as far as price, but heck, I'm cheap. What can I say? And if you're on a budget, I would say the cheaper the better, right? The one thing I really love about this GSXR 600 is the smoothness it took the corners in. It's a beautiful bike for the kind of riding I like to do. I like riding sometimes not like a crazy maniac, but actually just a tour. And by all means, it's not a sport touring bike by a long shot, but it, with the short seat height and the way I'm 5'7", and the fact that I can actually touch the ground quite comfortably with a 31-inch inseam, it's a pretty decent bike. But going for my little country rides here, there, everywhere, the bike was smooth. It shifted smooth. It was a great all-rounder. Between myself going on rides and riding with my crew of folks, the GSXR 600 has seen a lot of kilometers in the last 2 months. Just over 1,100 kilometers. And so far, smooth, no problems. I haven't really found anything that I dislike about the bike. It's fantastic. I think it's worth mentioning too that in-town riding and slow speed riding on the GSXR 600 has been kind of a bit of a pleasure. Probably the best slow speed sport bike, that sounds funny, that I've ever ridden. Very nimble, very well balanced, and again, that low seat height, it really helps me out.
of your heartbeat. I can hear it now. can hear it now. I hear the sounds. I can hear it now. Of your heartbeat. I can hear it now.
Well, GSXR has been around from about 1992. I found this little clip of what the 92 sounded like and looked like. Still, really cool bike. They still sound good even back then. Not really sure what's going on with the tack on that bike, but oh well.
I hear the sounds.
GSXR 600 has been around almost, well, not quite as long as me, but I think the first was the 92. I've ridden every iteration of this bike, as I am an old fella, and each time they changed the model, you could feel the improvements. I'd say at the track, the GSXR 600 along with the R6 are the two, possibly the two most favorite track bikes that I saw or have ever seen on the track. You still have your sprinklings of your CBR 600s and you still have your Ninjas and stuff, but predominantly it's R6 or GSXR 600. Unfortunately, the GSXR comes with a stigma, and that was brought on by a certain group of people we like to call chicks or squids. They usually go by the whole, instead of the ATCAT guys who all the gear all the time, they're minimal gear all the time. The Jixer Squid usually has bad judgment and usually ends up like this. But squids like other bikes too. However, now, what does the GSXR 600 mean to me? Well, quite a few things. I'm not your typical rider. I'm getting older now, so I kind of like the slow rides. I like the fast rides. I like going to track days, and this bike seems to fit all of that, and it does it well. In the bike culture, we all know that all two-wheelers wave at all other two-wheelers. But I'm telling you, there is probably a subculture to the bike culture, and it's the GSXR bike culture. It's like, if you have a GSXR, the GSXR guys wave a little harder and a little faster when they see another GSXR. I'm not kidding.